100th Season 3, Episode 4, Watch the Thrones. I really, really love this episode. I watched this one, I believe I watched this one and the last one on Hulu, and I don't believe I mentioned that. But a lot of people in the comments, by the time I finished this episode, really hated it because of, mostly because of, Bellamy and Pike. Because Bellamy switched sides, and a lot of people were mad that he was kind of like he was in Season 1. And I personally felt it was okay. I thought it made sense. I think he's gonna switch back and he'll realize that he is being dumb. But I thought it made sense because he felt that the loss was on him, and he is being super stupid at this point. And I understand why people are mad. Like, I don't think they're like totally wrong. I understand 100% why people would be mad at him because he is being really dumb, thinking that attacking people that are clearly there to defend him is a good idea. And Pike, as I said, I knew as soon as he came in, he's the Season 1 mentality, us versus them, and I knew he'd be a problem. And I don't know why I didn't think about the whole election process, and I guess it's because I didn't really think like, oh, they do, a whole ballot thing, like, oh, just write your name in. And what really blew my mind is the fact that it even happened that he would become chancellor, because they still had a buttload of people at Arcadia. There should have been enough people able to vote where they didn't come out looking like a bunch of dumbasses, because that's kind of what happened, honestly. And Kane does mention it was close, but there were only, I think, the guy said he lost like 63 of his people. So all those people in Mount Weather were the people from, Pike's group. And so it's like we still have this small little group that's with him, and then, of course, Bellamy. But it kind of blows my mind that there would be anyone else. Like, there couldn't have been that many people left over, that they outnumbered everyone that was already in Arcadia. And yet, a ton of these people still chose to side with Pike. And they all seem stupid for that. And they do. For me personally, that doesn't make this episode any less great, because aside from Pike being an idiot and Bellamy becoming an idiot, this episode was really good because, for one, having the Ice Queen get killed blew my mind, because I don't think anyone could have expected that to happen, and it was great. I mean, I kind of expected it when she was standing over him, but before any of that stuff happened, they do all these different things that kind of say this isn't going to work, because, and this was something I found out from Hulu that I'd never realized, but the woman that plays Lexa is actually one of the characters from Fear the Walking Dead, which premiered over the summer, and I never realized that was her without the makeup. And so it's one of the things that someone mentioned was they might kill Lexa off because now she's on Fear the Walking Dead, which obviously, with it being tied to The Walking Dead, is probably going to go on for quite a while. So she'd be tied in with that. But it's also, I would assume, filming at different times, and plus, I mean, that could happen at some point, because that show only had, I want to say it only had like 6 episodes for its first season, or 12 or something like that. So that could happen in the future, but I was kind of convinced, that's all I was thinking about, like, holy crap, that person might have been right, because she's in another show as well, and they might have to kill her off because she's going to be in this new series. So I did think that might happen, mostly because of that comment, and I was like, I don't know, like, I was freaking out mostly over that comment. And then we had this stuff with Clark making a deal with the prince, and he's like, I can't really help you, or, she didn't accept his help in that way. And she's like, I can help you, though, and I'll make you king. And she tried to kill his mom. That didn't work. And then we get the commander from the Ice Nation is actually one of these children who is apparently Nightbloods, who are like this crazy old race or whatever, or this lineage, and so her blood's like almost jet black like ink, and that's apparently a big special thing, which they do mention she will not return until Lex's death. And as Clark said, is there anything you talk about other than your death? That was a funny moment. But when they introduce something like that, and they have a character who should be in the same camp as like the young kids, like the boy who is officially announced to be the one who will take over for Lexa when she dies, with that being the case, I feel like they are talking, that's going to happen. It might not happen this season, but considering, kind of the fact that they introduced that in this season, and in this episode we get two people who are meant to take over. Like the queen says, like, oh, she's going to be the new commander, and then we have this young boy who's meant to take over for Lexa. All of that is at one point, and then we get the ending, like, oh, well, she won't return until I'm dead. So we got these three little things that are announced in this episode, and it's like, I feel like they're going to lead to Lexa dying in a future episode. I don't know how close that would be, and I don't expect it to be too soon, but I think before this war is over, or very close to its end, we might get Lexa killed off, in this series, which would really suck. I do like Lexa, but sometimes when there are too many clues, or there are just enough clues, it's like it could easily be held off for a super long time, or it could certainly be tomorrow. That type of deal. So I don't expect it in like within the next couple episodes, but I do think we might lose Lexa sometime this season, which would really suck, but I feel like that's kind of where we're headed. I certainly enjoyed the fight between Lexa and the Prince. I can't think of his actual name, and I don't think they even said it in this episode because it was really just his mom talking to him, so they just called him like the Prince. But their fight was pretty fun. I thought for sure there were a couple of moments where I really thought Lexa was done for. And then she reverses it on him. I knew she wasn't going to kill him, and I thought what she was going to do was bargain with the queen and say, I've won, and I'm going to spare your son because I don't need to kill him because it wouldn't really change anything. It would just mean, I won and I don't have to kill basically an innocent person. He's like the kid who got banished from his house, and it would almost be kind of messed up to, kill the guy. So I thought that's where it was going, and then it's like, alright, she spares the guy, and then she kind of looked, I think she looked at the queen or something, she did something, and I was just like, she's about to do it, and then she just lifts it up, and she just throws it, and she killed the Ice Nation queen, and I was like, oh, she's useless, she's dead. We saw her once. I also didn't expect to see her at all in this episode, because she showed up, and she was just in the building, just walking into the meeting. I was like, alright. I thought this was like crazy full-on war. She's not going to go and do anything herself because she would instantly just get her head chopped off or something crazy. But she does the vote of no confidence, which is worrisome because, of course, everyone did it. And, outside of Clark, who was fortunately recognized as the 13th clan, it takes away the unanimous vote, which, this is one of those situations where it's like, man, if only, for the Grounders it worked not having a unanimous thing, and then for the Sky Crew, it's like, God, democracy didn't really, do us any favors this time. So, it was kind of funny just thinking about those little comparisons, like, man, we really messed up. But it was just surprising to see her in this episode in general. And then she comes in, it's like, this is supposed to be our big bad. She's starting the war, she blows up Mount Weather and does all this crazy crap. And ultimately it comes down to, she gets a spear in the heart, she's dead, and her son's the king now, and he's taken over the Ice Nation. And it was just like, wow. And the commander, the girl who has the dark blood, or the dark blood, yes, she's gone, and she's banished until Lex is gone, because she doesn't want her there, because she's, she was in line with the queen. So I just loved what they did with that, and that's why, despite what everything that happened with Pike and Bellamy, I'm still okay with this episode. I still think that it was a really great twist episode where they kill off the queen, who is seemingly the main villain, and it lends to Pike becoming the main villain now, and I don't know what to think of that, because honestly, it sucks that it happened, and I knew he was going to be an issue. Like I said, I'd say as soon as he showed up, I did say that us versus them. Didn't expect him to be Chancellor in any way, shape, or form. I knew Bellamy was going to become sort of anti-grounder. I'd seen that in like an article or something where he kind of chose to do that, so I was expecting that for this episode, but it was dumb. It didn't make sense that he would side with him, and he's taken over by rage. Pike is just an absolute moron. Everyone else that's siding with him is an absolute moron, although I hate to say that about, anyone related to Monty, because I really like Monty. But that was his mom, whatever. But it was just crazy. Like, I don't know. His idea is like, we, as people, should stick together, and we should totally get, his amazing crease at the end of the episode. Pardon us, of course, we all saw that coming. I thought he was going to put Kane in jail. I thought he was going to say, like, I'm just getting you out of the way, basically. That, I have you in here. But it's like, all right, we're free. Choice number 2, so insanely smart. We're just going to get rid of this whole 13 clans thing, because F those guys. And then part 3, let's finish what we were trying to do last night. Let's go with machine guns to the people sent to protect us and attack them, and then expect that to work because, 12 other, 11 other clans, they're just going to F off. So, I don't know what to think. Arcadia might get destroyed. Who knows? I mean, there are really only 7 characters we even care about. We have Abby, Kane, Clark, Bellamy, Monty, Jasper, so more than 7, Octavia, Lincoln, and I believe I mentioned Raven. I'm pretty sure I mentioned Raven. And then we have, like, the scientist guy who's with Raven. And I'm sure there's someone else I'm probably missing. But those are basically, like, our 9 people. And everyone else could kind of get wiped out, and we wouldn't even remember them. Because we don't know these characters. And maybe, like, the one security guard guy that was in the beginning of this season with him in the truck. So, most of the people could get killed off. And also the other doctor that helps Abby. So most of the people could get killed off, and they would mean nothing because we just see them just, whenever, and they don't matter. They haven't been given names, they're just there, and they're just other characters. So that could actually happen. Just like Lexa dying, they could easily wipe out Arcadia, and our main people survive, and they kind of get split up or, decide to do whatever they want to do. And I just don't know what to think. I highly doubt we're going to lose Bellamy. I don't expect us to lose, like, any main people. Outside of Pike, I know he's dying by the end of this season. He's a dead man. So he'll be killed off. We still have the Ice Nation and whatever they plan on doing, because they still have the guy from Mount Weather who survived. I'm sure his plan, to get revenge on Clark for kind of setting things off and killing everyone in the mountain, he's not going to want to give that up. I'm sure the commander who's been banished isn't going to give enough. They were already marching to war anyway under the Queen, and I'm sure she's going to, try to do something. She'll try to have her own coup against the prince, but there's still some war stuff happening, like, and it's the craziest thing, like, that's the craziest thing about it, is that they aren't going to get that news in time. Like, I know that with them, I guess I would just call it the capital. So with them at the capital, that news of the Ice Queen dying, and basically this war being completely crushed, aside from the commander and doing whatever she's going to try to do, Pike having, the idea to start a whole new war against everybody, which is just insane. Which, once again, that is the main reason why I don't think anyone's wrong about hating the episode. I easily understand it, but I guess I just choose to see, like, the best part about it, because it was a shock to me that they killed the Queen, and Pike being the prick. I wasn't shocked in any way, shape, or form. So him doing that is just so dumb, and I just can't wait to see that blow up in his face. I don't want to see Bellamy get hurt, because I like Bellamy because he's one of our main characters, and he's actually an okay person when he's not. I don't know, he's in, like, this weird depression thing, so I guess we just have to let it slide for a little bit until he realizes what the heck he's doing. But I don't know. It's not going to go well, and they're going to go attack those people before they have the chance, because it's already been, because they were trying to leave out at night to do it, so they're leaving during the day. They're going to get outside the walls and everything like that, and that news is not going to get back to them until after they kill the 300 people, or nearly 300 people, that are sent there to help them, and they're going to go in guns blazing, much like, we've seen that happen with Finn, and it's going to be just madness, and then who knows what will happen. And I don't know, if things go crazy, I'm sure, of course we still have Clark who won't vote against Lexa, but at some point, people going up against Lexa won't matter, or them, trying to do the votes won't matter, because they're going to do another battle, and they will keep doing battles until they take her down if something like this happens, and Pike, tries to go up against all these different clans for the Grounders. So who knows? And they'd probably, kick Clark out, like, oh, you guys rebuke us, by Clark, and boom, unanimous. And then someone will just try to kill her anyway when she has no protection. Lexa, I mean. But I'm looking forward to the next episode. I think it's gonna get real insane really fast because I think they will go to kill those people in the next episode. And they might not kill all of them, but they're gonna go in guns blazing and they're gonna do some stupid stuff. So I'm actually looking forward to the madness that is sure to come. Really hoping we get back to our City of Light storyline in the next episode because I believe it's been. I think it's just been this one and the last one. It may have been 3 episodes where since we got like the crazy reveal there, but I want to see that come back, and I'm sure we will, but it might not happen until after this next episode, because it has been so crazy. It makes sense we don't get the City of Light, because obviously that is going to be held up for a while, and what's you're going to conclude that storyline, so it doesn't surprise me that it's been held off for like this crazy kingdom and rivalry and inner turmoil type stuff, but I'm looking forward to it. Of course, want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below, let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I have to ask what you guys think about both them killing off the Ice Queen, which is awesome, and the crappiness of Pike taking over as Chancellor, and also Bellamy joining him. I just want to know your thoughts on those moments. Of course, what you guys expect to happen. I think he will end up getting another war that he seemingly wants. It seems like he wants to be in a war against everybody. So I think he'll get it, but I want to know your expectations and your thoughts about this episode, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.